Thanks for tuning in to As We See It with Phil Hulett and Friends. I'm the guy with the name and the title. And Jennifer Bjorklund is off vacationing in Wisconsin. In fact, she's probably in a small town right now. And Jay Capadonia, Chris Martin are here. And joining us in the studio, well, let me preface it by saying this. You may be old enough to remember Charles Kuralt and his On the Road series. It was on CBS for so many years. He used to travel the country and deliver the small town stories. And they were always so interesting and enlightening and uplifting. Well, those stories still exist, but who's carrying the torch? Maybe it's our guests here in the studio right now, the hosts of the TV show Small Town, Big Deal, Jan Carl and Rodney Miller. Hello, you two.
Hey, thanks for having us.
You found us in a little small town here where the studio.
They're excited. They are. They're happy.
We are.
Well, you meet all these people around the country in these small towns, and what does that do for you?
Oh, in a nutshell for me, in the last few years, I admit I've been kind of getting down and depressed and, America's bad and we're bad and everything's bad and the economy's bad and, my home's not worth anything. And I started feeling bad. We started doing the show. Well, I started doing the show.
If your home's not worth anything, can I buy it? Because it's pretty nice.
It's gone up. But I got to tell you, Phil, by traveling the country and doing this show with Rodney, I have fallen back in love with America. I have faith again, hope again.
Because you've been a big town girl for the last 20 years or so, right?
And I covered the negative news for a long time. And I covered some of
on
the...
Entertainment Tonight?
Yeah, first hard news on KTLA.
Channel 5 here in
Channel
LA.
5. That was many years with Hal Fishman. And then Entertainment Tonight. And we are covering great stories that just really, they lift my heart. I know that sounds really corny.
Well, give me an example because, I'm kind of a hard... nut to crack here.
You can go on our website right now at smalltownbigdeal.com and watch tonight's episode, which is about Catalina Island, just right across the
That's
bay.
a small town,
That's
Avalon.
a small town.
Oh, it's very small.
We had a blast there. I mean, the Flying Fish Festival.
Listen to you, Rodney. You sound like a small town guy with that accent.
I am a small town guy.
Well, in fact, you've got some farming background in you, don't you?
I do. I always say I was born a farmer and I hope to die a farmer. And so far, if I died today, that would come true. So yeah, I'm a small town guy. I'm just a farm boy from Southern Illinois. I mean, she's a big star, but
no, don't let him fool you. Don't let him.
Oh yeah.
But here's an example. Okay, we found a guy in Vermont. I'll try to say this really fast. And he built like a small wiffle ball field. It looked like Fenway Park. And then he built another one that looked like Wrigley Field. And we're like, do grown men play wiffle ball? Do you play wiffle ball?
Yeah.
Okay.
The backyard barbecue.
Okay, well, no,
Right.
these guys made the ESPN top 10 in one of their plays. But here's the deal. We're like, well, that's kind of cool, but is it a story? And then we found out he had a couple of sons who played hockey. He found out about a guy who made his dream come true, got on the team at Boston University as a hockey player. 11 seconds into his first game, he became a quadriplegic. So the guy with the wiffle ball field calls, I want to do something. They started a fundraiser. They have a blast. That guy got from Boston, from Staten Island. They raised $500,000 playing wiffle ball.
And
we met Travis, and he's fantastic. And, he had a rough time.
That's cool.
So that's cool. You know what?
You
might just shed a tear, baby.
What's your...
I doubt it.
Jay shed a tear?
Yeah.
Not possible.
No.
You know what? When you watch the video of Travis and see it happen,
it might happen.
But then it's an uplifting story because of what Pat and his wiffle ball field did.
What's your definition of a small town?
Ooh, it varies.
We'll go inside the Beltline too. We'll did a story on Louisville Slugger because that's a family-owned business since the 1800s, and it was fun. And we got to find out that the shavings from whose bat did we think Rodriguez or Alex Rodriguez's bat is under some turkeys in Indiana. Right now.
What do you do with those shavings? Well, they got a turkey farmer picks them up, and
oh boy!
But we also got to hold the model for Babe Ruth's bat and the model for
They preserve that, huh?
Oh, they have this vault. Watch the show. We go in the vault and they've got all the bats. But yeah, so Louisville was not necessarily a small town, but we knew because it was made in America that would resonate with our audience.
Do you warn the towns that you're coming, or do they just say, okay, here comes a big TV truck with a bunch of people and a crew, and then you hang out in the town for 2 weeks? What happens?
So we always warn them. Sometimes we get some help, but we're pretty small and pretty nimble, and as we go, and we try, one other thing, we tell great stories, but we also try to be really entertaining, and fun and have fun together. And I provide the look. She's the brain. Or do I have that backwards?
Yeah.
Oh, this guy's quick. Oh, boy.
No.
Oh, boy.
Well, okay, let me just tell you this.
Who's bringing the comedy?
Yeah, right?
There's always a competition no matter where we go.
Yeah.
Here's...
And I have a slight edge.
In what?
In just about everything.
Well, not in cow milking.
Well, not in cow milk, and she really smoked me last week.
You've got some farming in you too?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I just knew which cow to pick, and I whispered in her ear, and she let down for me.
You could tell me later what you whispered. Is there a common thread that you find from town to town?
I would say a passion for their community.
Yeah.
I mean, really a passion.
You don't feel
for their
that in a big
community.
city, do you?
Sometimes it's hard. I think it's harder sometimes, but not that the big towns can't do it. I think we can be inspired by them. I mean, I live in LA, and I think we could definitely be inspired by that. But I mean, I guess if you're sick of the negative and negative, tons of negative news, tons of negative TV, and it's not a good show unless they're yelling and cussing and they're adding bleeps. I mean, I've been in mix houses and they're adding bleeps when they're not even swearing.
Right.
If you're a little tired of that and you just want something that makes you feel good, uplifting, it's entertaining. It's something you haven't seen. We did the National Lumberjack Championships.
We were talking about that. We love that.
One of my favorite sports.
Oh, they were the coolest people ever.
Yeah, we had so much fun doing that. We got to participate in it.
Okay, you smoked me in the axe throwing.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Axe throwing.
Yeah.
You two are hardly ever home, and so
You guys
Jan,
are up to
we're talking about your
shenanigans.
house. Is there a gig open for house sitter?
Oh, I do believe so. Somebody to water the garden, please.
Not too much water, though.
So,
Oh, that's right. Only on Tuesdays and Thursdays at my house.
all right. So tell us more about where we can watch the show because it's on in various places, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can see it on RFD TV or FamilyNet. Those are in about 61 million homes of the 115 million homes in America with TV.
Like DirecTV.
Like with DirecTV or Dish, channel 345 on Direct, 231 on Dish. And you can
Did y'all
also...
catch that? Y'all writing that down at home?
You also can see it on CarbonTV.com, which is a TV internet network that's really rising, and it's on the upside. Or you can go to our website and watch episodes. And we just signed a deal with Wonderful Living TV, which is in about 45 million homes, and that's so new it hasn't even started yet. It'll start in a week or so.
Well, look at you grow. And the website, smalltownbigdeal.com. And
That's
if you
right.
can't remember that, we have a link on our links page at philhulettandfriends.com. We got you covered right there. So how great to see you.
Great. Let's do some axe throwing after the show.
Yes.
I'm in.
We just
Yes.
have a couple of those. Mike Stark, our executive producer, we always keep axes.
He's
Just-
nodding yes.
A couple of tomahawks in the back closet.
The next time we come,
That's our security. Yes.
chicken poop bingo.
Chicken poop bingo.
I've heard of this.
What town is that
I
from?
have no interest in watching chickens take a crap on a square.
You could win.
Why would somebody do that?
You won it. The person won $250.
Well, all right.
Now you're inspired.
Well, now he's in.
Yeah, now I'm down.
And you might just cry.
No, I mean that was a story in Iowa, and the small town. They had thousands and thousands of people on bicycles.
And I can
riding.
watch this on your show?
Yes, you can. That show is called Ragbri.
Slow motion replays?
We didn't get that detailed on that one. We did the slow motion replay when I fell in Lake Geneva.
Oh my gosh, she fell off the boat at Lake Geneva, and 3 cameras caught it. Thank God, 3 cameras. If you're gonna fall in the lake, let's at least get it on camera.
You do swim.
Yeah, it's a little hard when you're fully clothed, and the water's like 53 degrees.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that was not planned.
It was pretty nipply, yeah.
What?
What?
Oh my God!
There's that edge I'm talking about.
Well, you should see
sir.
the outtakes.
Rodney Miller and Jan Carl, a pleasure to see you. And again, the show is called
Small Town, Big Deal.
Tune in.
All right, very good. Thanks for coming out.
Thanks
to
for
our-
having us.
To our
Yeah,
small
thanks a
studio
lot.
here. Hey, what a show. Don't miss it. Go to philhulettandfriends.com. You could listen to it again in case you were listening and you missed it. But we'll love your comments. We have an email address, feedback at Phil Hulett and Friends. On Twitter, we're at As We See It Show. Thanks to Mike Stark, our executive producer. Brooke Peterson is our producer. Production assistant Nick Wright. Our theme song is composed and performed by Russ Monson. For Jennifer Bjorklund out in Wisconsin with the cheese and the wine. For Jay Capadonia and Chris Martin, I'm Phil Hulett. Can't wait to talk with you next time when we call it As We See It with Phil Hulett and Friends.